allowed to go into certain parts of Europe and so on and so forth. Yet again, you were in some of these countries. Tell me where you went.
Moomen, the actual fact started becoming wider from 2013. Barely June 2013.
Right.
There, I saw this. I approached my then chief executive and my medical director, and I told them that, say, I would like to this time around to volunteer to go to Liberia. But I would like, if he approves, to go with other juniors of mine so they will learn what to do. Moomen, I will not lie. I don't go to church and I will never go to church. So the last thing I will do is to lie. My chief executive then told me that he will not allow me to go. And he will not guarantee anybody else, because by then, in the highways of Monrovia, dead bodies were scattered everywhere, decomposing and all that. And he should sign that I should go. He didn't. But I told him, say, I'm going to help mankind. And I'm going in the name of Kolebu and in the name of Ghana. I will go. If I come and you will sack me, say, I will perfectly salute. I consulted one organization called Amethyst. Amethyst Technologies. That, hey, I want to go to this, but can you furnish me with just a flight? They said, no flight is going. Then I said, oh, Air Morocco is the only one that is flying. So I will fly from here to Morocco, from Morocco to Monrovia. This was 10th of August. The thing happened in June. 10th of August, when it was a peak. I went. I don't want people to judge me by saying that I did not follow or I did not obey the instructions of my leadership. But I wanted to prove a point that, yes, Ghana, we have specialists that learned these things, and he has to practice at times of difficulties like this. So I left the shores of Ghana with Seth Ajiman.
But you actually got some persons to go with you.
Yes, my direct.
Did you explain to them the dangers involved in such a trip and that it was possible that they would not return?
Yes, I did.
And did you also let them know that you had defied the orders of your CEO at the time?
Yes, I did.
And did you tell them the consequences if you returned, that both of you could be sacked? Whoever decided to go with you, you told them?
Yes, I did.
But they also willingly agreed to follow you?
Because Seth now if you trace, you will see that young man will be 1,000 times Segu, because we will come there.
Yes.
But I told him everything.
All right.
By then he was also afraid. But I told him, said, this is what you chose to practice. If you say that I'm your mentor, there's nothing will I do to affect you. I will die for you. So let's go. And the young man said, I will go, but I have to see he is a Catholic, so I want to see the father. As I said, do you want me to come with you? He said yes. So we went in the morning. We were going to fly in the evening. We went in the morning to see the father. The father prayed for him, prayed for me too. Then I told the father that, Father, I will never go to church, and I'm not ready to listen to you trying to convince me. This time, I'm receiving all these prayers from you because of my
mentee.
And he did. So we left. In fact, we went to train the Moravians, if I should say analogy, Moravians Kolebu, which is J.
You can't remember the name, but we get the point. I mean,
the
biggest hospital in Monrovia, the capital of Liberia, right?
JF Kennedy, JF Kennedy's Memorial Hospital in Monrovia. So we went. When we went, everybody, the patient come, all of them will scatter, all of them will go away. Then they will leave the patient there. Then they will say, hey, the man that has come with his boy, they are not afraid though. Then we will go, we will take them in. Even people died not because of COVID, not because of Ebola. I could remember one day, I heard a patient who said he's hungry. But everybody were gone. All the nurses, everybody, they have left him. They have abandoned him. But we sorted. We gave the person cook. We gave the person food. I sent her to buy food. We fed the person. And the person, right at this moment, he can call me and say, Savior. And I will say, no, don't call me Savior. I'm not Jesus. So
wow, so you sacrificed not just in DR Congo in 2010, you also went to the other West African countries that were affected by Ebola. Then eventually, Ebola too, somehow, we dealt with it, even though on a few occasions there were pockets of reports in certain parts, but thankfully that has largely been dealt with. Then COVID came. Well, so when it started in China, you are an immunobiologist and you are the head. Okay, so before then you were not the head of the COVID-19 case management team.
No,
but yeah.
There's a question, there's a correction there. Yes. I'm the laboratory lead.
Laboratory lead of the
COVID-19 case management.
Okay, okay. So
National case management.
Laboratory lead. We'll make that correction. Thank you. So yes, but so COVID came, started in China, 2019, late 2019. Given who you are, the profession you've been practicing for so many years, did you know that certainly it was coming to Africa as well? At the time, we had started, saying it was a Chinese problem. But did you know?
Yes.
You did?
Yes.
You knew it was not going to end in China?
Never.
Okay.
Never. Even I was anticipating it to hit Ghana earlier. But do you know why it didn't?
Tell me.
Because we did not have a national carrier. Okay? If we had a national carrier, it would have hit us. So if Ghana Airways,
if we had a Ghana Airways working, for example, it would come earlier than the mid-March that it arrived in 2020. All right.
Long time. So I was really prepared. I was even prepared that I helped in training 12 laboratorians in Kolebu. To start with the drillers. We did everything possible that if it comes today, we will sort it out today. And behold, the two Indies of COVID in Ghana came in 13th
March.
By then, we were training people at RAGE. The case management, national case management, we were training people at RAGE. Because by then, RAGE was the first site that we all had prepared, because they had 4 beds prepared for such occasion. So we were training them when at the mid of this training, they called my boss, Dr. Foribu, that this has happened. So we had to move in with Dr. Komi and co. We had to stop, and few of them carried on the training whilst we move in fast to go and sort them out.
And by mid-April, indeed, Spain was recording over 900 deaths a day. Italy was recording about
but do you know I went to Italy? You didn't know that.
You went to Italy?
Yes.
When over 1,000 people were dying in a day, you went there?
Yes.
Dr. White,
to help.
Mr. Sego, why?
Because that is what I do best.
Do you have a family?
I have a family.
You have children?
I have 2 kids.
And you have a wife?
They are girls. And vasectomy is completed. I have 2 kids. They are girls.
Yes.
Vasectomy.
You mean you've gone through the process?
It is completed. So that is me. And I have them. Let me send you back a little. After we had come from that Ebola trip, from the first encounter in
Congo.
Liberia.
Oh, Liberia, yes.
All my co-workers in Central Lab decided to go on strike because they thought we had brought in the Ebola. So even up to a point that they went to Controller and Accountant General that I should be scraped out.
This is
Kolebu. And where I work. And with my children, the stigma was always hitting them even more than myself, because I could explain myself, but for them, what could they do?
What was the stigma like? I thought they would say, "Oh, that's the hero doctor. That's the man who has saved lives in Liberia." It was rather what? It
was rather worse.
They turned it against you.
Yes.
Against
them. Even people were stopping their children to play with my children.
Okay.
All this happened, but what I have learned is what I have learned. I just have to continue breaking that phase, to continue to break that obstacle. So I do what I do. Nothing you can do that will stop me practicing what I do best. So I went to my children's school, told them I have come. Anyway, when I came I did my compulsory quarantine,
which was for 21 days.
21 days.
Yes.
In Cape Coast.
And your colleagues knew this. They knew you had quarantined for 21 days, and the incubation period for Ebola was 21 days.
Yes.
And you had exhausted those 21 days, and yet still they stigmatized you.
They stigmatized us.
Why the vasectomy?
Oh, mommy. Vasectomy because I said to myself that I was the first person on this earth who was raising the hand at my wedding. I told that pastor that the wedding is for me. He should make me talk. So he could not do anything by asking me to talk. And I told those audience that, look, I have 3 things to say. First, I know my probability. Anyway, do you know who brought DNA testing to Ghana?
Don't tell me it's you. I don't know. Is it you?
Oh.
I don't.
Okay.
You did?
Yes.
The DNA, to have a DNA test, I remember a little over 10 years ago, or even less, you had to travel all the way to South Africa. And then all of a sudden we heard that, well, DNA is now in Ghana. You were involved. You did? Mr. Sego, you did?
Yes.
Which year?
That's 2010.
Okay, so continue.
Yes, so I knew my probability. Moomen. My probability is 3:1. But I did not want any man. So when I got my first baby, who was a Mimi, who is a girl, and the second one came, who is also a lady, I said, my probability will fall. So the third one will by all means be
a boy.
A boy. So I don't want a boy.
What have boys
Please
done
don't
to you?
ask me.
Okay.
I don't want a boy.
I respect that. I respect that.
Oh, I can say it.
No, but if you don't,
I was going to say it.
Okay.
That's why I said that don't ask me, because you will take words out of my mouth. The reason is that, Mommy, I worried my parents so much that if I should bring in a boy and come to worry me like that, I will hang myself.
You were a stubborn child.
Yes.
But
pretty stubborn.
I can see the stubbornness in you to the extent that where there is danger, you will still love to go and save lives. I mean, it's a very positive stubbornness that you do have, and I really do admire that. And
so I got that, and as soon my second daughter was born in 29 December. By 3rd January, I went to complete the vasectomy.
Okay. Forgive me if I'm going too personal.
No problem.
Are you active sexually?
Yes.
Vasectomy hasn't affected anything?
I can even give you more intro to that. If there were time, I would have taken you through the anatomy of a man, okay, and how man, we don't flow, we ejaculate, okay? So when you do vasectomy, women, you lengthen the senses of ejaculation, okay? So when you are irritated, the sense will be active, waiting for ejaculation. But if it's not coming, it will wait a bit. If it's not coming, it will wait a bit. If it's not coming, it will wait a bit. It will be long. Okay? So even now, I can say, it's personal, but I can say that my wife suffers.
I'm sure. I'm sure the young men, Apia Kubi and Co, who are behind the machines currently, are now beginning to think of vasectomy, given the fact that you said it will keep them active for a long time.
Yeah.
You hear them laughing? They're excited. They're super excited. Okay, but let's move on now. So COVID-19.
COVID-19 came, Moomen, and people were running, but I did not fault anybody. because the experience were not there. Though they heard about Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea, and it was vivid. When you see your colleague daughter dying and you could not do anything, the next time when it is happening, you will actually. One time in Kolebu surgical ward, doctors, though they said that the patient was at the ward, but all the doctors, even those that they passed through the passage, went into their cars for isolation. They stayed overnight because they were afraid that they would have been contact. But that wasn't it. At first, people were afraid to take suspected sample with only nose mask, face shield, and a gun. They had to go complete. But no, I didn't teach my people like that. Right from the starting, the 16 people that I taught, we were all over Ghana.
So what's your secret? I mean, I remember even as journalists, in the initial stages to go out, we had to wait for some donations of PPE. We had to wear them in order. My colleague Clara Mlano, for example, who had to, and Sarah Ofori and co, anytime they had to visit a health center, they had to be fully clothed. What's your secret? Do you have some protection that is not visible to the rest of us?
Yes, I have a protection, and that protection is knowledge. When you are knowledge, you are protected. Okay? People did not know that this one did the work, and also this one did the whole work. The virus can be on your hands. You wash it, and it goes. Unless you take it to the orifices that have the mucous lining, live cells. So if you take it to your nose, it will get there. If you take it to your mouth, it will get there. If you take it to your eye, it will get there. If you take it to your inner of the ear, it will get there. So what do? As soon as you come from work, even from outside to your room, I made my team members. Everybody had a mat, a soakable mat, and they prepared Pazzo beside. So as soon as they come, they take it, they wet the mat, they step on it, because mommy, let me tell you this. From here to your car, do you know whether somebody has spat on the floor or not?
I will not be able to tell. And Ghana people spit
around.
Yes, randomly.
So you take it with your sole of your shoe, and when you go home, where do you keep your shoes, mommy?
First in my corridor.
In your corridor.
Yes.
But you will have other shoes there too.
Yes. True.
And by all means, it will land in where you keep your shoe to go to mosque. Isn't it? When you are going to mosque and you want to clean the shoe, will you be aware that it could have been contaminated the other shoes?
No.
So use gloves in handling that shoe. You wouldn't.
True.
We all go to the washroom. Isn't it?
True.
And so, first thing to do, protect yourself from outside to your home.
You knew what to do to protect yourself. How often do you fall sick, doctor? Sorry, I'm still recalling you. Mr.
Segu.
Mr. Segu, yes. So, given the fact that you have told us about your low immune system, do you often fall sick yourself?
I had fallen sick since Since I came from Cuba, I have fallen sick twice.
From malaria?
Malaria.
And this was, okay, so you came from Cuba in 87?
In 98.
Oh, 98. Oh, you were in Cuba for almost 10 years.
I was in Cuba for more than 10 years, 13 years.
And you came back in 98.
Yes.
And between 98 and 2021, you've fallen sick only twice from malaria.
And
wow.
That was going to send me to 6 feet beneath.
The malaria?
Yes. Just malaria that I believe that you've had a malaria which is 2+ before.
I've had, I'm sure I've had malaria and I didn't even take medication.
You didn't even take medication.
And it went away, yes.
And you came.
Yes.
Me, if I get malaria, scanty, the one that cannot be graded as 1+,
Mm-hmm.
if God does not permit, I will visit 6 feet.
Malaria can kill.
I don't have that immunity to stand any.
And yet you expose yourself to deadly diseases like Ebola and COVID-19.
Because of this, I don't buy kenke in the night.
What's wrong with night kenke?
Do you care to know? I don't buy kenke in the night.
What's wrong with night kenke?
Okay, that kenke seller who always sits alongside the gutters.
Yes.
I don't know whether it is a belief of Ghana that when you sell along the gutter that people will buy more. But all our kenke sellers are along the gutters.
Mm-hmm.
So they will be there selling their products, kenke. When they are there, mostly they receive mosquito bites so many times that they have gotten a concomitant immunity to that malaria. Okay? So if I'm going to buy the kenke, it's not that when I go there now they give me. I will stand there for a while before I will be served. By doing that, a mosquito can bite. A mosquito that has bitten the woman that has that parasite in the gut can come and bite me, and that woman will not even feel low. But me, that I have low immunity, if God does not permit, I will die. Because of that, I don't buy kenke in the night.
Mr. Sego, we have just 5 minutes left. I wish we had 5 hours left. I'm thoroughly enjoying this conversation. Okay. 1 hour has come like 1 minute. But just before we wrap up, so often, and we're discussing this even before we came on air, as Africans, we tend to pay very little attention to achievers, people who are sacrificed from behind the scenes, like you.
Thank you.
But we here at GBC think that people like you need to be celebrated. We need to tell the world your story and the sacrifices you've made for all of us. Fortunately, the Humanitarian Global Awards partners identified you and recognized your contribution to saving lives and especially the role you played and continues to play in Ghana's management of COVID-19. What does that mean to you?
Even what you've just, the GBC and your show have done is all that I need to do more or to live. I don't need people to come and tell me that, oh, as a matter of fact, let me send this one. I have written and the Supreme Court has signed that when I die, there shouldn't be funeral. I don't need funeral. I understand post-mortem more than you. I will not forget where I was. Okay, we will come back.
No problem.
I understand post-mortem more than you do.
Of course.
I understand preservation of body more than you do.
Of course you do.
But I don't want any of that. if I die, that same day, they should bury me. But then, if my daughters were not there, you bury me. When they come, show them that this is where they buried your father. If you, mommy, that you've heard of me and you are doing this, as a matter of fact, it is my heart that you have touched. If you want to come to my funeral, behold, you will not even get water served. All that you will get, and it is in my will. Supreme Court of Ghana has signed that you will get a piece of ginger and a cube of sugar. That is all that, and I have planned myself to that. Right now I have my coat, my socks, and my coffin.
You have a coffin?
I have them.
You have a coffin?
I have everything.
That you want to be buried in?
Everything.
Where is it? In your house?
Yes.
Why?
Because I don't want anybody to delay my going.
Are your children aware of all of
yes.
this? And how do they feel about that?
They are convinced.
It's normal.
Because that is what I want.
Do you have a coffin at home?
Yes.
That's not normal.
It is.
To keep a coffin in the house?
It is
waiting
normal.
for the day you will die?
I have my everything and 3,000 Ghana cedis. They should use part of that 3,000 to buy what I said. When you come, they will say.
What's it with the ginger and sugar?
Ginger, if for my entire life.
Please allow me 2 more minutes. I need this. Thank you.
If my entire life, if I step on your toes and you felt like what I did hurt you, when you come, the ginger will burn your mouth. So you take that ginger to forgive me. Then at the same time, the sugar will sweeten the ginger, so it will take that pain off, so that you say that, oh, this is what Sego did, but I've forgiven him.
What's wrong with preservation? What's wrong with preservation of bodies?
I don't want preservation.
No, but you are into
yes
a sector.
Yes.
Indeed, you
I
are.
say that I understand preservation more than you do.
But you don't want it.
I don't want it.
Is it bad?
Yes, it is. For my profession, for my professional understanding, I wouldn't like to be there. By 18 years, when we were in medical school, we were going to morgue. We were using the cadavers to train. We did all that. And still, I go to when COVID patient died, but the patient was suspected and had not been tested. I was called, everybody, I was called to test. And I go there to test. And I see the effects of preservation. I know it. But my principle says I don't want to be preserved.
All right. Before we go again, given all the sacrifices you have made, I mean, from Congo to Liberia to Ghana, fighting COVID.
I like it. That presentation that happened at the Lavadi Beach. In fact, I had one. I was nationally honored when we came from. You know, I led the team to Sierra Leone.
Wow. You've
the
done
Ghanaian
so
much. Team. I led that team to Sierra Leone. After I have come
from Liberia
and people were showing. Yes, I led the team to Sierra Leone. So when we came, the president by then honored us with honorary the Grand Medal.
Wow.
Honorary division. I have that.
Wow.
But nobody sees it. Nobody talks about it. And that pains me.
we will talk about it. We are so proud of you.
So what GBC has sought to do, and your show has sought to do, I believe that Seth Ajiman, Baba, Ben, and all those that I trained initially, I dedicated my everything that I have to them, because without them, Mommy will be here and will not hear what I've done.
Yes, we like Seth and Baba and Co. We'll give them the opportunity to come also share their stories with us. We'd like to hear from them as well. And Sarah, one of my producers, Sarah Ofori, will put that together for us. Doc, so when doctors go on strike over unpaid allowances, over delayed allowances and so on, yes, demanding better conditions, how do you feel when that happens? Do you join them? When health workers in general?
This one, let me be frank. Okay? Profession is profession. Personal feeling is personal feeling.
I respect that.
I will talk about the profession and I will talk about the personal feeling.
Right.
Professionally, I will support them. Fully support them. Okay? But personally, by my background of when I swore that Hippocratic oath that even when I'm on top of my wife, when they call me, I will come. Okay? Be it money. When we went to Liberia, we didn't receive anything. I led the team to Saloon, Freetown, and back. I don't deal with physical recognition. I don't deal with materials. If you want to let me be happy, what you have done today, if I die tomorrow, I will be happy.
Mr. Augustine Sego, an immunobiologist, the lead, let me look for the laboratory lead of the COVID-19 case management team. He joined us for a discussion tonight, and indeed he was celebrated over the weekend together with others for his contributions to the management of infectious diseases in Ghana and other parts of the African continent. Indeed, he was in Congo to help that country deal with the Ebola, I beg your pardon. Then he was in Liberia, helped a lot of the Ebola victims in 2015 thereabouts, and then he returned to Ghana and then had to go to Sierra Leone as well to help them fight the Ebola epidemic. Then the world was hit with the COVID-19 pandemic. He went to Italy, where they were devastated. You recall the Italian story. They were devastated. Mr. Sego went to Italy to help them deal with that pandemic, returned to Ghana, and I've just told you he was the lead, the laboratory lead. He is still the laboratory lead of the COVID case management team here in Ghana. And indeed, in 2010, prior to that, Ghanaians who wanted DNA tests would have had to travel to South Africa and other parts of the world. This man introduced DNA testing in Ghana. Wow. Mr. Augustine Sego, thank you so much. We are very proud of you. We will, as I said, get in touch with some of his mentees as well to find out exactly what they have been up to. Those who went with him to Liberia and defied all the odds and came back alive and are still alive and kicking. What are you up to at this point in time? We'd like to know. I'm sure Ghana would like to know as well. Have a very good evening. We will certainly be back here tomorrow with another edition of the show. Mr. Augustine Sego, thank you so much. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Wow.
When the voices that matter